I realised really early on, I went, hang on a moment, that, it sounds corny, but it's their show. They were listening to it a lot longer than I'd been there, and so they felt ownership of it. And then eventually, the biggest feedback I got from people, and my wife picked up on it one day, when she said, God, a lot of people say that to you. And I kept having people who I would bump into say, mate, hated you when you started, but I've really gotten to like the show. So they feel the need to let you know that, and I suppose it's because it's their show.
And that's the thing, isn't it, Whipper, where, the audience, I do honestly think, other than most media, they'll look you in the eye and tell you the most honest things that probably your wife wouldn't even.
All the time. And a lot of the time you're already thinking them because you probably know anyway. But you're right, in terms of, Benny, what you're talking about, how personal radio is, in that they do think that they know you, they're growing to know you even more, and they probably even think that they know you better than you know yourself. But like you mentioned, Maz, with Ray Hadley, he always tells a story, which is an old one you hear, in the radio industry, where someone, the first bloke that he ever met where he was doing work experience, said, what's your name? Ron Ray Hadley. How well do you know him? Pretty well. Well, don't be anything else but Ray Hadley. Because people, they read the bullshit, and at the same time, the best way to connect is purely being yourself, because they have to learn to love, or hopefully, the person you are.
Well, that's the thing, Mezzy, it seems that the gulf between the bloke on the air and the bloke off the air, these days, because of social media and all the rest of it, there can't be two Merricks. There has to be kind of one who speaks a bit louder into a microphone.
I think it's the most important thing for all of us on air is about consistency of character. So it's okay to have an opinion, and it's okay for that opinion to be rebuked by your listeners, or to be embraced by your listeners. But it's important that if you do have opinions, if you do have a characteristic, that it's consistent, and that they get that kind of that same part of you all the time. When you're off air, of course they assume that you are a different character, because if you're not, you're psychopathic. And I don't want to talk any more about your colleagues, but the thing is,
lovely man.
But everybody,
Wilshire is a lovely man, and that's a disgusting thing to say.
Everybody who broadcasts with a degree, like a hyper character of what you are. Yep. That's all it is. You just take in a slightly different energy and a slightly different poise to yourself when you go on air.
So let's